The systems that once seemed unshakable are now trembling before our eyes. Financial markets, government orders, social structures, everything that was built on illusion and control is beginning to break. People are watching the world they once trusted fall apart, and fear is spreading faster than truth. But for the chosen ones, this isn't a signal of doom. It's a divine sign of preparation. You were never meant to rely on the world's systems, because what's collapsing was never meant to sustain your destiny. What looks like chaos to the world is actually divine reordering. Heaven is dismantling everything false so that what is real can finally rise. This shaking is personal. You might feel it in your finances, your relationships, or your inner world. Everything unstable is being exposed, not to punish you, but to purify you. When God prepares you for elevation, He first removes what cannot go higher. Sometimes, the collapse is the confirmation that your breakthrough is near. You can't build on old foundations, and God won't let your new season sit on broken ground. That's why you're feeling the pressure, because you're standing on sacred ground being prepared for new purpose. So, chosen one, ask yourself, what in your life is being removed right now? What systems within you are collapsing to make space for what's divine? Comment below if you feel this truth stirring in your spirit, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Anointed Era, where we awaken, empower, and align with divine timing. What's happening in the world is not just political or economic, it's spiritual. The outer collapse mirrors the inner transformation of those who are awakening. You might notice that people around you are either waking up to truth or sinking deeper into illusion. That's because light is dividing from darkness. God is using the world shaking to awaken His chosen. The same energy that's tearing down corrupt systems is also awakening the gifts, intuition, and purpose within you. You've probably felt it lately, the restlessness, the spiritual sensitivity, the feeling that you can no longer tolerate what once felt normal. That's not anxiety, that's awakening. The collapse is activating your higher awareness. It's pushing you to detach from what's temporary and seek what's eternal. When the world becomes loud, the wise retreat into silence. When everything external breaks down, the chosen rise internally. Look around, governments are unstable, economies uncertain, and the moral compass of society is distorted. But this is not the world falling apart, it's the world being stripped bare. God is revealing the truth beneath the illusion. The shaking isn't against you, it's for you. He's exposing what was built on lies so that His remnant, the chosen, can rise with integrity and light. When corruption collapses, righteousness finds its voice again. In times like these, you're being called to stand differently. You can no longer blend in because your light wasn't meant to hide in shadows. The collapse is revealing who truly carries truth, faith, and power. You'll notice that while some panic, others rise in peace. That peace is your sign. It's the mark of someone anchored in divine order, not worldly chaos. You are that person, the calm in the storm, the stability in shaking. So, chosen one, instead of fearing the fall, embrace your rise. For years, you've been in preparation, unseen, underestimated, and often misunderstood. You wondered why God hid you while others were being celebrated. But the truth is, He was saving you for a moment when visibility would matter most. Now, as the world's false lights dim, the true lights are being revealed. Your silence was never punishment, it was incubation. You've been growing in secret while the systems of the world have been weakening in plain sight. This divine reversal is intentional. God hides His most powerful instruments until the stage is ready for their sound. The collapse is your cue. The shaking is your announcement. You were not meant to blend in. You were meant to bring divine order where confusion reigns. Every delay, rejection, and moment of obscurity was training for the hour now unfolding. Nothing that's happening now is random. Long before it began, spiritual prophets and ancient texts spoke of this shift, a time when truth would be hidden, deception would be glorified, and systems would crumble under the weight of their own corruption. You're living in that prophecy. The reason it feels heavy isn't because it's hopeless, it's because history is shifting through your generation. Every global event, from economic collapse to social division, is part of the unraveling of an outdated world order. The divine timeline is moving fast now. The old must fall before the new can emerge. As someone awakened to truth, you're not meant to fear these events. You're meant to understand them. You're the bridge between heaven's wisdom and earth's chaos. This isn't just global, it's deeply personal. The collapse you see out there is happening within you. Old beliefs are breaking. Relationships are ending. Habits and thought patterns that once brought comfort now feel foreign. That's not coincidence, it's transformation. You're being stripped of what no longer matches your vibration. The process feels like loss, but it's liberation. It's not easy to lose parts of yourself you once identified with. Sometimes, the biggest collapse is internal, when the version of you that survived can no longer sustain the one who's meant to thrive. You'll cry, release, and question, but remember, rebirth always follows breakdown. God cannot fill a vessel still clinging to what's expired. In a time when everything feels uncertain, your greatest security is spiritual stability. The chosen don't find peace in control, they find peace in surrender. The world teaches fear when systems collapse, but heaven teaches faith when the unseen is working. The more the world shakes, the deeper you must root yourself in prayer, reflection, and spiritual grounding. You'll notice that while the masses seek external answers, your intuition will pull you inward. You'll feel drawn to silence, to nature, to simple truth. That's your spirit adjusting to new frequencies. When you align with divine energy, chaos outside cannot shake peace within. Remember, you were chosen for this era precisely because your soul knows how to remain unshaken in storms. You've wondered why your life went quiet when others were accelerating. You watched people get recognition while you faced closed doors and unanswered prayers. But that silence wasn't emptiness, it was training. When God wants to build a voice that can withstand storms, He first takes it through silence. You weren't being ignored, you were being instructed. The world calls it isolation, but heaven calls it incubation. Every season of stillness refined your discernment. You learned who's real, what matters, and how to listen beyond noise. That's why when the collapse began, you didn't panic, you sensed it coming. You've been spiritually conditioned to recognize divine timing beneath chaos. While others depended on systems, you learned to depend on spirit. That's why you're still standing while others crumble. So don't despise the quiet years. They were not wasted, they were investment. They shaped you into a vessel that could hold divine clarity when confusion fills the world. The elite, the powerful, the manipulators, for decades they've controlled the world's narrative. But every false empire has an expiration date, and that time has come. The collapse of these systems is not by accident, it's by decree. God is reclaiming authority over what man corrupted. You'll see leaders fall, systems exposed, and hidden truths surfacing everywhere. The illusion of control is ending. But as the old power falls, divine power rises within the humble. The next leaders won't be the loud, but the luminous, those who carry compassion, wisdom, and truth. Chosen one, your purpose is tied to this transition. You were never meant to serve broken systems. You were meant to rebuild new ones. You carry light that cannot be manipulated. When we hear collapse, most people think of money, markets falling, currencies failing. But this financial shaking is deeper than economics. It's a heart check. Humanity has worshipped wealth more than wisdom, profit more than purpose. So, heaven is resetting priorities. The financial collapse is designed to expose where people place their faith, in the bank or in the source. For chosen ones, provision doesn't come from systems, it flows through obedience. You'll find that as the world panics over loss, you'll be guided by divine ideas, unexpected opportunities, and favor that makes no sense on paper. That's not luck, it's supernatural economy. When you align with your assignment, provision follows automatically. As the world shifts, so will your connections. People you thought would walk with you may fall away, and others you never expected will suddenly appear. That's because energy is real, and in a time of collapse, vibration exposes loyalty. Some were attached to your stability, not your spirit. When things shake, the pretenders scatter. Don't chase what leaves during the shaking. They were never meant to go where you're headed. Every disconnection is divine protection. God is rearranging your circle because elevation requires purification. You're not losing people, you're losing distractions. When everything false is stripped away, only truth remains. In the midst of global chaos, there's an explosion of divine creativity. When old industries fall, new voices emerge. When control ends, innovation begins. Chosen ones are receiving divine downloads, new businesses, songs, messages, inventions, and blueprints that will shape the new world. This isn't random, it's revelation. God is releasing creative power into those whose motives are pure. The collapse is a reset of creation. The false creativity, the one that glorified fame, greed, and ego, is dying. The new creativity is spiritual. It's about healing, truth, and impact. If you felt new ideas stirring inside you lately, that's your signal. Don't ignore the inspiration, act on it. You were created to create. The shaking isn't to silence you, it's to stir you. Share in the comments what creative vision is awakening in you and inspire someone else to move forward. We're in an era where lies are louder than ever, but truth has a frequency that can't be silenced. The collapse is exposing corruption in every field: politics, media, medicine, even religion. What's been hidden in darkness is being pulled into light. For chosen ones, this season requires discernment. You can't believe everything that's being said. You must feel what's true. Truth isn't just heard, it's recognized by the Spirit. This exposure may look messy, but it's necessary. Imagine how healing works. A wound has to open before it can clean. That's what's happening globally. The exposure hurts, but it's leading to restoration. You were chosen not to panic at exposure, but to stand as truth carriers. Your calm, your insight, your clarity, they're needed now more than ever. So keep your vibration high and your discernment sharp. The more you walk in truth, the safer others feel to do the same. You've seen it: influencers with no influence, leaders with no love, systems with no soul. The collapse is revealing the emptiness of artificial living. The world glorified appearance, but God values authenticity. This shaking is forcing humanity to choose: remain fake or become free. The chosen ones can no longer pretend because authenticity is their assignment. When everything artificial collapses, authenticity becomes rare treasure. That's why your vulnerability, honesty, and integrity will shine in this new era. You were built to be real when others are rehearsed. So don't dim your truth to fit in. Speak with sincerity, live with depth, and move with purity. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs your realness. Prophecy spoke of this: a global awakening where hearts would turn from fear to faith, from illusion to insight. That time is now. Every collapse, every exposure, every revelation is pushing humanity toward awareness. We're being stripped of false gods, false securities, false leaders, and it hurts, but it's holy. You are part of this awakening. You carry codes of compassion that this new world needs. Don't underestimate your role. Your words, your presence, your prayers, they are shaping atmospheres. When you speak from alignment, heaven listens. That's how powerful you are. Chosen one, this isn't just history unfolding, it's prophecy manifesting through you. While the world argues and divides, there's a silent army rising: the light bearers. They're not on stages or in headlines. They're in homes, workplaces, and communities, spreading calm, wisdom, and hope. You might be one of them. You may not realize it, but your peace changes rooms, your words heal hearts, and your resilience inspires others. That's divine influence, not fame, but frequency. This is the rise of quiet power. The collapse has humbled loud leaders, making space for authentic voices. You were chosen not to dominate, but to illuminate. So don't downplay your light. It's needed now more than ever. If this resonates, comment "I carry light," and let others find strength in your presence. The more uncertain the world becomes, the more urgent the call back to faith grows. The collapse is stripping away every false foundation so people can rediscover the source. When everything you trusted fails, faith becomes the only solid ground. The chosen understand this. Their peace doesn't come from predictions but from presence. Faith is not denial, it's divine alignment. It means trusting the unseen even when the scene shakes. It means believing that divine order is emerging from human disorder. The collapse isn't proof that God abandoned the world, it's proof that He's reclaiming it. So if your faith feels tested, know this: it's being refined, not rejected. After every collapse, there must be rebuilders, those who construct from clarity, not corruption. That's who you are, chosen one. You're not here to escape the shaking, you're here to shape the aftermath. God is raising you as a voice of stability in a generation that's searching for truth. You are the architects of new foundations, spiritually, mentally, and even economically. The tools you need are already within you: resilience, wisdom, and divine direction. As the old fades, new blueprints are being handed to the awakened. Listen closely. The next instructions won't come from media, but from spirit. Sometimes destiny can't unfold until distractions fall away. That's what this collapse is: divine decluttering. Everything that was blocking your next chapter is being removed. It might look like endings, but it's really alignment. Every no, every loss, every closed door was orchestrated to free you from what couldn't go with you. You'll soon realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually birthing you. The collapse isn't your downfall, it's your doorway. Walk through it with faith. So when you feel fear rising, whisper, "This collapse is my confirmation." When everything around you is falling apart, clarity often emerges. The collapse isn't just chaos, it's a divine magnifying glass revealing what truly matters. Your life, your gifts, your calling. Suddenly, distractions fall away and the path forward becomes clearer than ever. You may have felt lost before, but now every experience, every challenge, every heartbreak is pointing you toward your destiny. This is a time to focus on what you were born to do. No more chasing validation, no more comparing yourself to others. The collapse has stripped away illusions, leaving only what is essential. You'll find that decisions that once felt heavy now flow with divine ease. The world's noise fades and your inner voice becomes louder, guiding you toward your true purpose. Loss is not the enemy, it's a doorway. Every door that closes, every relationship that fades, every system that collapses is making room for something greater. The world's fall is your signal to stop clinging to the past and step boldly into your future. Your divine assignment cannot unfold on broken ground, so God removes what no longer serves your highest good. This process may feel painful, but it is sacred. The end of one chapter guarantees the beginning of another. Think about the caterpillar; it disappears into darkness before emerging as a butterfly. So too with you, chosen one. Your transformation is being fast-tracked by the very collapse that others fear. Have you noticed new abilities surfacing in you during these turbulent times? The collapse awakens gifts that were dormant, skills you didn't know you had, and spiritual insight you never expected. This is no accident. God is arming His chosen ones with everything they need to navigate a world in flux. The storms aren't here to defeat you, they're here to activate you. Whether it's prophetic insight, leadership, creativity, or wisdom, your talents are rising now, just when the world needs them most. Don't ignore these stirrings, act on them. Take steps, no matter how small, to cultivate these gifts and share them with the world. You are being equipped to carry light where darkness once dominated. As systems fall and the world trembles, fear is natural. But fear doesn't define chosen ones, courage does. The collapse tests your resilience, asking whether you will stand firm or be swept away. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen your faith, sharpen your vision, and step into your divine authority. The brave are not those untouched by storms, but those who rise despite them. Your ability to remain steadfast, to trust in God's plan, and to act with integrity even as chaos unfolds is what will set you apart. Remember, courage is contagious. Your example will inspire others to rise too. Step boldly, chosen one. The world may crumble, but your courage is unshakable. Everything falling around you is not a signal of defeat, it's confirmation. Confirmation that you are on the right path, that your preparation has not been in vain, and that your destiny is unfolding. The challenges, the shifts, and the revelations are all divine markers showing you that your rise is imminent. Look back at the moments you questioned yourself, the times you prayed and felt unseen. This is the answer to your prayers. The collapse isn't a detour, it's a divine spotlight illuminating your next step. When others panic, you will walk in peace, because you understand that God is orchestrating every move. If you've been waiting for confirmation, this is it. Rise, chosen one, your season has arrived. This is the hour of unveiling. Everything that's been hidden, truth, light, purpose, is being revealed. The collapse is not destruction, it's divine construction. The world is shifting and the chosen are stepping forward. You are part of this prophecy, a voice, a light, a force for the new era. Don't doubt your significance. Every time you share light, heal, or inspire, you fulfill prophecy. This is your time to rise through the collapse and lead with love. The shaking was never to destroy you, it was to show you what can't be shaken. So rise, chosen one. The collapse has begun, but so has your awakening. If this message spoke to your soul, comment, I am part of the anointed era. Like, share, and subscribe to Anointed Era, where divine messages awaken the world to purpose, power, and prophecy.